Let us see our next question. XYZ Limited, a company based in India, manufactures very high quality modern furniture and sells to small number of the retail outlets in India and in Nepal. It is facing tough competition. Recent studies on the marketability of the products have clearly indicated that the customer is able now that is customer is now more interested in variety and choice rather than exclusivity and exceptional quality. So there is no need of having like excellent quality, variety is required. Since the cost of the quality wood in India is very high, the company is reviewing the proposal for import of the woods in bulk from Nepalese supplier. The estimated net Indian rupee and Nepalese currency cash flows for this proposal is shown below. Cash flows have been provided in million term. 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs. In Nepalese currency and in Indian rupees term, cash flows have been provided to us in million term. First question is, XYZ evaluates all investment by using a discounting rate of 9% per annum. All Nepalese customers are invoiced in Nepalese currency. Nepalese currency cash flows are converted to Indian rupee at the forward exchange rate and discounted at the Indian rate. So which approach is to be followed? Home currency approach or foreign currency approach? Please answer in the chat box. So clearly it is indicating that we are required to follow the home currency approach. Second, inflation rate in Nepal and India are 9% and 8% respectively. The current exchange rate is 1.60 Nepalese currency per rupee. Assuming you are finance manager of XYZ Limited, calculate NPV and modified IRR of the proposal. You may use the following values with respect to the discounting factor of rupee 1 at 9%. Year 1 to year 3 present value, and so the future value factors have been given to us. I request all of you to make the calculation of the NPV and post your answer in the chat box. So try to do answer of the NPV on your own first of all. Please write an answer along with me. Home currency approach, comma, for decision making. In that write down, step number 1, calculation of forward exchange rate as per purchasing power parity theorem, triple PT, Nepalese currency per rupee. That is what we are required to compute. First here, and that I am writing the forward exchange rate. Dear students, the spot exchange rate is provided to us as 1.60. This is the spot exchange rate provided to us, 1.60 Nepalese currency per rupee. Inflation rate is provided to us as 9% and 8%. So over here, first year end, in that 1.60 into Nepalese currency, the rate of inflation is 9%, and for rupee currency the inflation rate is 8%. For the second year, the same thing will be continued. 1.60 into 1.09 raised to 2 divided by 1.08 raised to 2. Similarly, for the third year, 1.60 into 1.09 raised to 3 divided by 1.08 raised to 3. This is the way we'll compute from year 1 to year 3 end. So 1.09 divided by 1.08, I keep that in memory plus into 1.60. So it is 1.6148 into memory recall once again. So it is 1.6298 again into memory recall. So 1.6449. This is the forward exchange rate as per triple PT from end of year 1 to end of year 3. Step number 2, conversion of foreign currency into home currency. So let us see how to do that answer. It is Nepalese currency rupee. 1.6 Nepalese currency is equal to 1 rupee. Cash flow in the Nepalese currency term is 25 million. It is this amount of rupees. So 25 million into 1, that does not make a sense, divided by 1.6. It means that the net cash flow in Nepalese currency term divided by exchange rate. That is the way we are required to convert the foreign currency cash flow into domestic currency. Step number 3, calculation of net cash flow in rupees million term. Let us see how to make the calculation of that answer. It is year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3. It is cash flows in Nepalese currency term. It is 25 million outflow, then 2.6 is inflow, 3.8 is inflow, 4.1 is inflow. That is the way we have the cash inflows. By using the exchange rate, it will be converted into rupees term. So for year 0 it is 1.6. For end of year 1 it is 1.6148. For end of year 2 it is 1.6298. And for the third year it is 1.6449. As per the calculation that we have made over here, foreign currency cash flow divided by exchange rate will be the domestic currency cash flow. So 25 divided by 1.6, 15.625. 2.6 divided by 1.6148. So 1.6101. 3.8 upon 1.6298. 2.3316. 4.1 upon 1.6449. So 2.4926. Cash flow in rupee term has already been provided to us. 2.869, 4.20 and 4.60. So overall cash flows in rupees term, it is 15.625 outflow, 1.6101 plus 2.869, 4.4791, 2.3316 plus 4.2, 6.5316, 2.4926 plus 4.6, 7.0926. Now these cash flows will be discounted in present value term for NPV calculation. Now calculation of NPV. The question is providing the information that the discounting rate is 9%, and for that the factors are also provided to us. So what we will do, we will, here is the discounting rate, we'll discount the cash flow series at the rate of 9% for finding NPV. Let us see that, say, how to make the calculation of NPV. Year 1, year 2, year 3. Cash flows in the rupees term, 4.4791, 6.5316, 7.0926. It is discounted at the rate of 9%. Here are the factors: 917, 842 and 772. 917, 842, 772. Present value calculation: 4.4791 into 0.917. So 4.1073. 6.5316 into 0.842. 5.50. 7.0926 into 0.772. 5.474. 5.4755. Present value of the cash inflow: 4.1073 plus 5.5 plus 5.4755. 15.0828. Amount of investment is this: 15.625. Now we get the NPV 15.625. Unfortunately, it is negative 0.5422. It is in the rupees million term. So we understand that the project is not worth accepting. Final answer is, as NPV is negative, comma, do not accept the project. This is the way we are required to write answer. The question says further that calculate modified internal rate of return of the proposal. That is a question. So once we make the calculation of the NPV, we have to find modified IRR. Please try to calculate the modified IRR on your own. So friends, we understand that as far as the modified IRR is concerned, for calculation of the modified IRR, we are required to compute the future value of the internal cash accruals. That is what we are required to do. So working note number 1, calculation of future value of internal cash accruals. That is what we can do. So over here friends, as per the given information or as per the calculation that we have made, this is the internal cash accruals. Now that will be reinvested at the rate of 9%. So over here, for the first year, 4.4791 into future value interest factor at the rate of 9% for 2 years. 4.4791 into, you can see that the future value factor information is provided to us. It is 1.09 square. It comes to 1.1881. However, they have provided 1.1880, and we know that whenever they provide us the factor, we have to use that only. We cannot use our own factor. For the second year, it is 6.5316. 6.5316 into future value interest factor at the rate of 9% for 1 year. 6.5316 into 1.09 raised to 1. For the third year, it is 7.0926, and of course it is not subject to any compounding. It is going to be kept as it is. This is the way the future value of the internal cash accrual will be calculated. 4.4791 into 1.188. It comes to 5.3212. Next, 6.5316 into 1.09, 7.1194. 5.3212 plus 7.1194 plus 7.0926. It comes to 19.5332. This is the way we make the computation of the future value of the internal cash accrual. And of course we understand, so this value is of year 3 end. This value is of year 3 end. This is what we understand. Once we make this calculation, then we'll compute the modified IRR. So next working is calculation of MIRR. In that, investment into future value interest factor at MIRR for n number of years is equal to future value of internal cash accruals. This is what we understand. What is the investment that we have made? The amount of the investment is 15.625. And future value of the internal cash accrual is 19.5332 into 1 plus I raised to n. So it is 1 plus I raised to 3. Why? Because the time period is 3 years. 19.5332 divided by 15.625. So it is 1 plus I raised to 3 is equal to 19.5332 upon 15.625, 1.2501. This is what we understand. Okay. Now I will be calculated as balancing figure. I 1 plus I raised to 3. Now what is I? That you are required to make an assumption, because for any value one third, that is the cube root, cannot be calculated on our calculator. That is the reason say we have to adopt trial and error method for doing answer. So randomly we have to start with any rate and will compute the future value factor. We'll find two future value factors, one having value less than 2.1.2501, another having value more than that, and then both of them will be interpolated. So let me take over here 5%. So what is the reason for taking 5%? No reason. We can take any other rate also for doing answer. So 1.05 into 23. So it comes to 1.1576. Now first step that we have taken randomly will guide us regarding about the subsequent step. This future value factor is less than what we desire, so we are required to increase the rate of interest. Let us increase to 6%. 1.06 raised to 3. 3. So 1.1910. Again it is less than what we desire. Let us take 7%. 1.07 raised to 3. 1.2250. Again it is less than what we desire. So let us further increase to 8%. 1.08 raised to 3. 1.2597. Okay. So now we understand that say 1.2501 is falling between 7% and 8%. So we are required to do interpolation of 7% and 8% to compute the modified internal rate of return. So now next, modified internal rate of return and 1 plus I raised to 3. Let us take that say this is 7% and opposite to that it is 1.2250. This is 8% and opposite to that it is 1.2597. What is difference of 7 and 8? It is 1%. What is difference of this two value? 1.2597 minus 1.225, that comes to 0.0347. Okay, now we will take the base of the lower cost of capital. So 1.2501 minus 1.2250. We take the base of the lower one. So 1.2501 minus 1.2250. That comes to 2.51 paise. 0.0251. So when cost of capital changes by 1%, future value changes by 3.47 paise. What must be the change in the cost of capital when the future value increases by 2.51 paise? That is a question. So 0.0251 divided by 0.0347 into 1. So 0.72%. Now to the lower value it will be added. So it is 7 plus 0.72. That is the way simple answer of 7.72% is calculated. This is what's the way modified IRR will be calculated. As per my understanding, what I think is calculation of the modified IRR, modified internal rate of return, is not difficult for you. However, it has been a long time that say you were doing this So at your second level. Now doing this after a long time, maybe say quite something that say you have to recall properly the working that we have done. The future value factor, then modified IRR itself what we have done, reinvestment, future value calculation. So that is the reason say you might that is say find it slightly difficult, but it is very simple, friends. So finally a summary of the entire answer. First of all, in step number 1, we have made the calculation of the forward exchange rate, and as per the given information, we do not have a choice but to use triple PT. Then small working note that say foreign currency divided by exchange rate is domestic currency. Step number 3 is the cash flow in rupees term. Foreign currency cash flows is converted in rupee currency. Rupee currency cash flow as it is, and that is the way overall rupee currency cash flow is calculated. Then we have done discounting to find NPV. NPV is negative, so in that case reject the project. Modified IRR, that is the second working that we were supposed to make. In that the future value of the internal cash accrual with the company's cost of capital, that is 9% in our example. Year 0, this is the amount that you invest, and third year end, this is the amount that you are getting. So what is the rate at which you are getting return is 7.72%. That is what we understand.